I've never met her. I don't know her last name. All I've got is a comment she left on this channel a few weeks back. And, honestly, it's been bugging me ever since. Carol's 71. She takes a little pill called Eliquis every single day because her heart doesn't keep the beat right on its own. And without it, she's at risk of a stroke. So this is not optional for Carol. This is her life. And Carol had heard, same as you probably heard, that the government finally went and negotiated lower prices on these big-name drugs. A real deal. So she does what any of us would do. She drives to the pharmacy. February comes. Same price. March, same price. April, June, same price every single time. Nobody called her. Nobody mailed her a letter. Nothing changed at that counter. And she wrote to me, basically asking, Antony, is this thing even real? Or is it just another one of those stories that sounds nice and helps nobody? So I did what I do. I rolled up my sleeves and I went digging. And folks, what I found, it burns me up. Because Carol was right to be suspicious. The deal is real. But the reason she's not seeing a dime of it, nobody's explaining that part. So today, I'm gonna explain it. And if you take any of the drugs I'm about to name, you stick with me. Because this is money walking straight out of your pocket every month, and you deserve to know why. Here's the deal, plain and simple. Starting January 1st of this year, for the first time in the history of this country, Medicare sat down across the table from the drug companies and said, these prices are ridiculous, and we're gonna negotiate them down. And they did. 10 of the most common, most expensive drugs in America. We're talking discounts anywhere from 38%, all the way up to almost 80% off what these things used to cost. That's not a typo, 80%. And the government projected this one move would save folks on Medicare about $1.5 billion this year alone. So that's the good news. That's the part that made the headlines. But here's what I've learned in all my years of reading the fine print so you don't have to. Whenever something sounds this good, the catch is usually hiding one paragraph down where they're hoping you won't look. And boy, is there a catch. Hang tight, because I'm gonna walk you right up to it. But first, let's find out if you even need to care about any of this. Because this doesn't hit everybody. It hits the folks taking these 10 specific drugs. So grab whatever pills you take, or just listen close and see if you hear your name called. Eliquis, that's Carol's one, for keeping the blood from clotting and causing a stroke. Xarelto, same family, same job, millions take it. Then you got the diabetes crowd. Jardiance, Januvia, Farxiga. If you're managing blood sugar, there's a real good chance one of these is in your cabinet right now. Entresto, that's a big one for heart failure. Enbrel, for the folks fighting rheumatoid arthritis when your own joints turn against you. Imbruvica and Stelara, those two show up for certain cancers and serious autoimmune conditions. And Novolog, that's an insulin, for the diabetics who need it to get through the day. Now here's what I want you to do. If you just heard your medication in that list, say it. Drop the name in the comments right now so I can see how many of you this is actually touching. And do me one favor while you're down there. Hit that like button. I'm not asking for my ego, folks. I'm asking because YouTube buries videos like this one. The one's actually trying to help seniors instead of sell them something. And a like is the only thing that tells the machine, hey, real people need this. So tap it and let's get this in front of the folks who need it. All right, now let's get to the part that made me mad. So Medicare negotiated the price down. The drug company agreed to it. So why on God's green earth is Carol still paying the same thing at the register? Here's the answer. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Picture your drug plan like a bookshelf. 4 shelves. Shelf 1, down at the bottom, easy to reach. That's the cheap stuff. Generics, a few bucks. Shelf 4, way up top. That's where the expensive brand name drugs live. And reaching up there costs you dearly. Now, Medicare went and negotiated a lower list price on Carol's Eliquis. That's true. That happened. But, and here's the whole ballgame, your insurance plan still gets to decide which shelf to put that drug on. And a whole lot of these plans looked at that freshly negotiated drug and said, yeah, we're going to keep it right up there on shelf 4. The wholesale price dropped. But what Carol pays at the counter, same expensive shelf. Nobody moved it down. Now listen to me carefully, because this part matters, and I'm not going to let anybody put words in my mouth. This is not your pharmacist cheating you. That man or woman behind the counter has nothing to do with it. And it's not illegal either. The plans are allowed to do this. It's not fraud. It's just Nobody's obligated to walk up to your door and explain it to you. So it doesn't get explained. It just quietly costs you. And that's the part that lights a fire under me. Because the people getting hurt here aren't rich. They're folks on fixed incomes, counting out pills and counting out dollars. Both. Now, take a breath, because I've got good news. And this is the part Carol needed to hear. Just because your plan stuck your drug on the top shelf does not mean you're stuck. You've got moves, and I'm going to give you 3 of them. But before I do, let me ask you something, and I want you to really sit with it. How many times in your life has somebody actually sat you down and explained the fine print? Not sold you something, not rushed you off the phone, just explained it straight for free? Not often, I'd bet. Well, that's the whole reason this channel exists. So if you're finding this useful, if your gut's telling you, finally, somebody's talking to me like a grown adult, then do yourself a favor and subscribe, and click that little bell next to it. Here's why the bell actually matters. And I mean this. When something changes with your Medicare, your Social Security, your prescriptions, you don't want to be the last one to find out, standing at a pharmacy counter like Carol, wondering what happened. The bell means you hear it from me first, early, while you've still got time to do something about it. That's the difference between getting ahead of a problem and getting run over by one. So turn it on. Let me be the guy who calls you before the bad news does. All right, 3 moves. Here we go. Move number 1. You can go straight to your plan and ask them to reconsider, to move your drug to a cheaper shelf. There's an actual name for this, and you write it down. It's called a formulary exception. That's your right. You can request it, and your doctor can back you up by writing a note explaining you need that specific medication. Plans turn these down sometimes, sure, but plenty get approved, and it costs you nothing but a phone call and a little patience. Move number 2. Talk to your doctor about whether there's a similar drug that your plan already keeps on a lower shelf. Sometimes there's a cousin medication. Does the same job, treats the same thing, sitting 2 shelves down for a fraction of the price. You never know until you ask. Your doctor's the one to have that conversation with, not me. And move number 3. This is the big one, so mark it down. Every year, there's a window where you're allowed to switch your drug plan entirely. Switch to one that puts your medication on a cheaper shelf. That window is called annual enrollment, and it runs from October 15th to December 7th. Write those dates on your calendar right now. October 15th. That's the day the door opens. Because here's the thing, nobody tells you. 2 plans, same town, same drug, can charge you wildly different amounts depending on which shelf they use. Loyalty to your old plan can quietly cost you hundreds of dollars a year. Hundreds. Now, how do you actually check any of this without losing your whole afternoon? It's easier than you think, and it's free. There's an official government website, medicare.gov/plan compare. That's the real one, the government's own tool. You type in the drugs you take, and it shows you, in black and white, what your current plan charges versus what every other plan in your area charges for the exact same pills. Takes about 10 minutes. All you need in front of you is a list of your medications and your red, white, and blue Medicare card. And if you'd rather just talk to a human being, you call 1-800-MEDICARE. That's the official line. Write it down, put it on the fridge. And here's my warning, because anytime there's news about savings, the vultures start circling. If somebody calls you out of the blue, somebody you didn't call first, claiming they can unlock your drug discount if you just hand over your Medicare number or a little fee, you hang up. That's a scam, plain and simple. Medicare doesn't cold call you begging for your number. The real help is always the number on your own card or the official website. Nobody legit is gonna rush you or charge you a secret fee, ever. Let me hit you with one more thing, because it might be the most valuable number in this whole video. This year, there's a cap, a ceiling, on what you pay out of pocket for your covered Part D prescriptions, and that ceiling is $2,100 for the year. Here's what that actually means, in plain English. Once your covered drug costs add up to $2,100 in a calendar year, you're done. Your plan picks up 100% of the tab for your covered drugs the rest of the year. 0. Now, why does that matter to you specifically? Because if you're taking one of these expensive drugs we talked about, you might hit that ceiling a lot sooner than you'd think. Maybe by summer, maybe by fall. And the day you hit it, your costs fall off a cliff in a good way. So knowing this number changes how you plan your whole year. Just so we're square, that cap is for your out-of-pocket Part D drug costs. It's not your monthly premium. It's not the injectable stuff covered under Part B. And it's not Medigap. Different buckets. But for your pharmacy pills, $2,100, and then you're covered. So let's bring it home to Carol and to you. The deal was real. Medicare genuinely negotiated these prices down, 38 to 80%. No exaggeration. But the savings only reach your pocket if your plan put the drug on a reachable shelf. And a lot of them didn't. That's not your fault, and it's not your pharmacist's fault. And now you know exactly where to look. So here's what I want from you today. Not tomorrow, today, while you're thinking about it. Go to medicare.gov/plan compare, punch in your drugs, and see with your own two eyes whether your plan's been passing the savings along or keeping you up on shelf for 10 minutes. And when you find out, come back here and tell me in the comments. Tell me if your plan did right by you or did you dirty. I genuinely want to know how many of you this is hitting, because the more of us who see it, the harder it is for anybody to keep quietly overcharging seniors who worked their whole lives. Carol asked me a simple question. She deserved a straight answer. And so do you. October 15th. Plan compare. 3 moves. You've got